Hi, I did my research on Brownie Wise, who founded really the Tupperware party in the house. And I thought it was just a real interesting topic. Brownie Wise really was only had about an eighth grade education, but she understood social gatherings and events, and she knew how to sell stuff. Um, I thought it was very interesting. She had kind of worked at a Stanley for quite a while and just kind of reached the glass ceiling, I guess, at the time there, and ended up going to work for Tupperware. And Tupperware had been founded by a guy by the name of Tupper, and his big claim to fame, he's had some great products, but they were very plain looking. So when he got them into different different stores, department stores and things, they just kind of sat on the shelves because nobody really knew what they did. Um, what Brownie Wise brought to the really to the company was the ability to demonstrate the product. So she had in-home parties and things like that where which allowed housewives and people like that to actually um, contribute to the family, which I'll get into in a second. But it really focused heavily on personal sales and actually demonstrating the product, where you could actually throw a piece of Tupperware with something in it across the room and see that it stayed together, or step on a cup and see that the cup didn't shatter and break. And it just took off, and it took off because the products were, I think, pretty good. They were pretty innovative, and and they also took off because Brownie Wise just had a great idea on how to involve an entire group of people in the economy that were kind of left sitting out after World War II, which was women, some of whom had worked during the war, or and wanted to contribute financially to the family's success. And I think that was pretty interesting. Romer, this is that's the really, I think, the one article that um, pertains to this thing in our readings this week. He talked a lot about um, why America was successful with entrepreneurship and with business when so many other countries weren't. And one of the things he talks about, which I thought was real interesting, was he talks about how America was relatively homogeneous. And if you look at that, there's a very large, what you'd call, working class that was not lower middle. They were more like lower middle class or upper working class, and a lot of middle class people that were created after World War II, which created markets. And if you look at a lot of other societies, you have a lot of ultra rich and a lot of very, very poor. And that's very different than the United States, at least the United States in the 50s and 60s. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And it's just, I think that was my biggest take from our readings this week. The next thing I really thought was that Brownie Wise hit on was the social aspect. What she was able to do is play on America's um, desire to get together, and that's really in some of my research on my project, I found that too with my grandfather and his brothers and things. That's how they got a lot of their business, was just social interactions through church groups, through dinner parties, through school get-togethers, through all that sort of thing. And Brownie Wise is playing on the exact same thing. And in a lot of ways, her business was just like my grandparents' siding and roofing business. Your goal is to get in front of people and to be able to demonstrate your product. Because if you can demonstrate your product, you can sell your product. And that's really what being an entrepreneur is all about. So I thought it was just real interesting. Brownie Wise, of course, things didn't necessarily work out great for her. She ended up getting let go, but of course, Tupperware sales and things suffered because of that. But I think she was just really cutting edge and kind of laid the groundwork for there's other places like Mary Kay, Avon Ladies. There's all sorts of parties. Um, oh gosh, the Pampered Chef and things like that go on to this day, that really owe their owe a lot to Brownie Wise. So thank you so much, and everybody have a great rest of the year and a great next class. Thank you.